Welcome, Krusty Carl does Danfoss VFD drives. Today, lab assignment 8, video 9, and we're going to keep remote controlling of the frequency drive. All right, so one thing I want to show, I guess we'll talk about the Word document here. It's taped at the same time as the face of my LCP. So you can see here we're using two low voltage connectors. In the previous video, we used the stop button, wire number 2, LVT, and I will just show you what I'm talking about here, especially if this is for my students at school. I'm trying to figure this out. You can look at the Danfoss LCP. There's the my low voltage cable coming out of the little white box that has the start, stop, the potentiometer, forward, reverse buttons on it. And each one has a little wire marking on it indicating that it has a particular application. So we've already used wire number 2 is the stop button. So these are the others, 1 and 4. So we already utilized wire number 2, which was the stop switch. So the red button on my white box is the stop button. And now we're going to wire in wire number 3, and I'll just highlight this on the Word document. So we're going to wire in number 3. It's the start button. So it's a normally open switch, and when we push it, it closes. And then when you release it, it opens. It's just a start-stop button, not fancy. So we've already wired in 12 and 18 with the stop button, and now we're going to wire in the start button across 12 and 19. Okay, on the terminal strip. And I will show you that terminal strip. I didn't do that yet. So we can see here that once we get the parameters changed inside the drive, can be started from the remote start command, but it can be stopped either from the remote stop, the red button, or the keypad. The only issue with this cat is if you were using this latched start, you would obviously need to give it another command. If it was a building automation system, let's say you went to the job, you're going to change filters on a rooftop or belt or something. If you asked it to stop, you always use a keypad for stop, right? Don't use disconnects. I keep harping at you about that. There's a lot of energy there, whether it's into the drive or out of the drive. Always use the stop button on the keypad and pay attention. I'll just quickly scroll this up here. I'm not zooming on my other LCP now. Over here on my LCP, make sure that when you walk up to it and it's running, that what is it command, what is making it run? Is it auto on or hand on? So make sure you're watching that, because when you're done your work on that unit, you're going to have to push either auto on or hand on and pay attention to the reference. So long story short. So the only trouble with this latch start that you'll see is you would have to ask it to give it another command from your building automation system. So that wouldn't be the greatest type of command to use for start. There's all kinds of others in there, many more in there. So let's do this. Let's change 510, 511, and then we'll just show you what it's going to do. So I got to bring this back down here a bit so that you can see it. Main menu twice. We're going to go down here to 510 is where we want to go into. Input outputs. We want to go down to digital inputs. Terminal 18 was in start, right? That's what we had originally asked it to do, but we want it now to coast inverse. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to go up. I've just figured that out. I wrote it down here. It's on number 18. There's look at all the reference and stuff in here. And I don't understand hardly any of it. Coast inverse. Oh, why weren't you there? Oh, it's number 2. There you go. This is wire number 18, Randy. The command is coast inverse. It's number 2. Sorry. There you go. And then we want to go to the next one, which is 19, wire number 19. So the command on number 19, we're now going to ask it to go to number 9, which is latched reverse. So we go into it, We're going to go up to 19, 19.9. There, latch start. And then we're going to hit enter. There you go. Hit main menu. Sorry, status. And then it's off on local stop. We want to hit auto on down here bottom again. All right, so we're on auto on. And I'm going to go over and I'll show you in a second. I'm just going to hit the green button, which is the normally open switch. And I'm going to command, and that gave it a quick digital command to say, all right, there, terminal number 19, you just saw a quick pulse of power, 24 volts. That's what that terminal strip is, DC, 24 volts. And I put a quick pulse on latch start. And as soon as I let go of it, away it ran to 60 hertz. Now, if I want to make it stop, I have to push the red button or hit the keypad off. So there you go. I hit the red button and it stopped. And you could see that it's in local standby. So let's do that again. It's green button, it's ramping up. Just do it a little bit better. Ramping. It's just the glare of that face. I should actually just tear that whole plastic piece off in front of that LCP and get Danfoss to ship me another one, replace it. And then I'm going to hit the red button, and now it's waiting for its command. It's on coast. Okay, I'm just going to move my camera. Wires are labeled as they would be coming from the drive. There's a wiring numbers on each wire coming out of the loom, wiring loom. And then on top here, you can't see it. I can't get you a good shot of it. But these terminal strips all have numbers on them as well. So those wires all communicate and match through. And then I don't know if I can, yes I can, there you go. Then wire number 12 and 13, if this is my students doing this, that's a little jumper bar between those two terminals. Okay, so that's number 12, both of those. And then right over here next door to that is number 13 with, those are two jumper, so it's like a MARAT there. So we're wiring into the bottom. And now you can see, not bad here, you can see all the terminal numbers. You buy those pre-stamped or pre-made if you want, and from Leeson. No, I bought these actually from Leeson, but you can buy these Sprecher Shoe, I think there's all kinds of them are made. So I will hit the start button so you can see the shaft back here. Whoops, until I hit that camera. Let me hit focus again, friends. It wasn't too bad. So here's the shaft right here of the motor in the back here. And we'll hit start. Nice ramp speed, nice and slow, low drive line shock, etc., etc. Pretty nice on everything. Those drives, they give us issues. And then I'm going to hit the stop button, and you can see it ramping down. I'll just show you the buttons here. Now all of those wires come out of this white plastic box. My father and I, some 10 years ago, when we had leasing drives on here, between Christmas and New Year's one day, 2 weeks, we wired all of this in, welded them all up, made them so that they were remote for the students, and tried to make it as safe as possible. So all out the back of that white box, all of these wires are coming out, attached to all of these things, the stop button, start button, the potentiometer. That's a 10K, 10,000 ohm potentiometer, forward, reverse, 1 and 2 speeds. And the problem with all of this, I don't know why I had to, just to make it safe for everybody. In here, you can see, maybe it's a little bit lower here, that all those low voltage wires are coming out of the drive with the high voltage. Everything in this box is just, high volt 208, 3-phase coming out of there. And I'm only plugged into single phase here in my shop. That's one thing nice about the drives. We're taking 208 single, or 240 volt single, and we're running that motor, which is a 3-phase motor on the back of this drive. It's pretty slick, really. And in here were all of the connections for all the voltage and whatnot. I thought, in a classroom environment, you're just asking for trouble. Give them access to the 24 volts DC, which is that terminal strip that we talked about. Give them access to that. At least it mitigates a lot of the issues. And one I'll just quickly go to the wiring diagram now, one more time here. If you're looking at this power module here, coming out of the Danfoss drive, see that? I've got it highlighted there, the 24 volts. The 24 volts DC. Do you see a fuse symbol there anywhere? No, you don't. Randy actually popped the power module very successfully all on my own by taking the positive wire, not killing the power to the drive, which I should have, but I shorted it to ground on the casing, and the power module went pop, and nothing could be seen anymore on the LCP. So yeah, I was very lucky to get warranty for that. Anyway, I'm out.